Subscriber feedback. Do you want in? There's a form in the description. It's free. Send me something. Want to jump the wait list? You can. Booth Buddies. It's the channel membership in the description. You can submit more than once. You jump the queue. You support this stuff. Whoa! If you don't want to do that, you can go over to my website for coaching one-on-one if that's more your speed. But today, for subscriber feedback, we've got Cory looking for overall sound quality notes. Where we at? Is it good? We'll talk about that and then other stuff as we go. Spiel. Done. I'm going out of my mind. It's already July. Who knew? Cory saved me.
At the water's edge, wetlands come alive. Birds call, frogs call from the shallows, and reeds whisper in the breeze. Beneath the surface, unseen life quality filters and renews, sustaining everything around it. In this delicate balance, nature does some of its most important work.
Ah, the gravitas. You got a voice built for this type of genre, my friend. I do believe, I do declare. Well done. So we'll start with sound quality, and then we'll talk about performance notes shortly thereafter and see if we can dial down on something more specifically. So your sound quality overall sounds pretty solid. There are a couple small things that you can improve upon right out of the gate. The first is, in this first little section, you can hear it more than the rest.
At the water's edge, wetlands come alive.
There's just a little bit of room coming into it. What I mean by that is I can hear a little bit of the reflections in your recording space. If, for example, I move away from my microphone a little bit, you can start to hear my voice bouncing around the space a bit more. And the way to address that is not to get closer to your microphone, though that can help. I was just doing this for the sake of the demonstration. But what you can do is just add more acoustic treatment. The way to know where to set that up, I use the rubber ball test, where if you look around your room, your recording space, and imagine tossing a infinitely bouncy little rubber ball, watch where it's bouncing. If it's bouncing a lot in a corner somewhere or above you or on the ceiling or off of your desk, wherever, add some extra acoustic treatment there. It's okay if it bounces a little bit around your space, but you want it to be largely a non-bouncy space or a dead recording space if you can help it. So that would be one of the first things. The other thing that I hear, there's a very, very subtle hum of sorts in the background. Not enough to have me terribly concerned or freaking out in any way, but it's there to my ear. Granted, I'm listening on very critical headphones, so it's probably easier for me to hear it than most people listening to your recordings would be able to hear it. But if you have like your computer fan going, or if you have a air conditioner a room or two over and that's going, if there's a duct in your recording space that's spewing air out, or you can hear things from somewhere else in your home, it's possible that there's some sort of hum coming from that. It's also possible that all of this is part of your recording setup natively, in which case, don't worry about it. The last thing is there are just a few areas where you have like odd breaths or mouth sounds in between phrases, like this one here.
In this.
And just a subtle polish thing to remove or clean those up. A couple ways you could do that. One would be to copy paste a clean breath. So if we just took this one and we put it in here,
Around it, in this delicate balance,
it would remove those breaths quite easily. The other would be to edit it manually in some way if you have that capability. But those were pretty minimal and didn't bother me a ton. So food for thought. Audio quality done. Let's talk a bit about performance stuff. So a few things happening. Again, I like that your pacing is really even. You're not feeling a need to rush through stuff, which is great. The biggest thing, and funnily enough, I've been talking about this quite frequently recently, but the ends of your phrases were inflecting down in pretty much the same way for a lot of the recording.
Water's edge, come alive. call blows in the breeze.
So you hear, and what that signals to me are a couple of things. One, it usually means that we're not as connected to the text as we could be. When I say connected to the text, I mean that the images that you're saying, you're delivering them really well. They have a good polish generally, but they don't have the actual image behind them. It's not as full as it would be if somebody were actually looking at a wetlands and seeing the birds and the frogs and the things under the water that are helping to filter the water and things like that. I don't see the images, or I don't hear you seeing the images perhaps more accurately. And often when people are just saying words, they'll have that sort of even-paced intonation where they're playing to the tone. This is how documentaries sound. And the solution or workaround there is to really have the thing in your mind's eye. Look at the bird. Birds sing. The wetlands come alive. Birds do this. Frogs do that. And really show us around the place in a really active way rather than trying to sound like something. That's a death sentence if you're saying, I need to sound quite polished. It will end up sounding polished, yes, but ultimately kind of dead. And to be clear, I don't think that you're totally dead here, but that's the risk we're running. So again, connect with the images a little bit more in your mind's eye. Really see them and tell me about those images. If you're finding that difficult, another exercise you can do with respect to inflection, particularly at the end of your phrases, is just fake it till you make it. Force yourself to inflect up. A couple things that I do to help myself with this are the shrug. If I shrug at the end of a phrase, it's really hard to inflect down. It's like counterintuitive to the body to shrug and inflect down. So by shrugging, it forces me to, suggest it like that. And that can be a helpful way to push yourself to inflect up. So if you listen to your playback and you're over again, just try it again, forcing yourself to inflect up, and maybe it'll feel weird, it'll sound crazy, but it'll help you once you do that take to just put that back on the shelf, go back and read it naturally. Most of the time people will have, provided you haven't built in these habits or ingrained them in a really big way, just doing an A/B comparison where you go to the other extreme can help to shake that up a little bit for you. The last thing that I'll say,
At the water's edge, wetlands come alive. Birds call, frogs call from the shallows, and reeds whisper in the breeze. Beneath the surface, unseen life quality filters and renews.
that's all I got to say. Great work, Cory. Lovely to hear from you. And thanks for sending this in. Again, everybody else, if you want to send in a sample, forms in the description. I look forward to hearing your work. Have a great week. At the end of this summer, I should be having a coaching course and or app coming out. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, stay tuned. Otherwise, everybody, appreciate you all, and toodles. Sorry. Be well, toodles. That's the, yeah.